Hi and welcome. Today we're going to review all the double rares from this set that I actually care about or I actually want to play. But first, the tidings of hope are accompanied by a fragrance dancing on the wind. You see, sometimes I actually can pronounce stuff. I'm just saying. I know, I just couldn't help myself doing it. I just had to, sometimes you have to prove something because, you don't feel good about something you did before. So, yeah, let's get into this. The first card I'm going to review is Holy Mage Laviana. She's a normal unit, grade 1 boost, 6000 power, 1 critical, 0 shield, gold paladin. Amazing artwork as always, love the artwork. And her flavor text is, the sunlight cobalt of the fire cage cannot be destroyed. Are you listening? I actually like this. The sunlight cobalt of the fire cage cannot be destroyed. Are you listening? I love that flavor text. The effect of this card is Sentinel, choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed in GC from your hand, you can pay the cost, and if you do, choose up to one of your vanguards that are being attacked. That unit cannot be hit until the end of battle. So that's pretty good. You can basically negate an attack just like all the Sentinels do, so it's not really... It's just a standard, effect for a Sentinel. Generation Break 1, Unite. This ability is active if you have called 2 or more units to RC or GC during this turn. Choose one of your rear guards and put it to the bottom of your deck. When this unit is placed in RC from your deck, you may pay the cost, and if you do, at the end of that turn, return this unit to your hand. So it's basically just one ability that some new Sentinels are getting. Some new Sentinels are basically getting this ability to bounce themselves back to your hand at the end of the turn. Which I do kind of like because, that means that you can actually summon the Sentinels and then you can basically bring them back to your hand if you want to. But it's nothing revolutionizing in general. So that was the first. And now we're going to talk about Greedy Succubus. Normal unit, grade 1, boost, 6000 power, 1 critical, 0 shield, dark, irregular. Amazing artwork on this card, by the way. And the flavor text is, attacking when I'm having my meal. Really, humans are indecent. I like the flavor text in this card. It has a Sentinel, auto, choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit is placed in GC from your hand, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose up to one of your vanguards that are being attacked, and that unit cannot be hit until the end of battle. So, kind of the same effect as, of course, this card. So, they are pretty much similar effects. The second effect, though, is Soul, Generation Break 1 Darkness. This ability is active if you have been put... this ability is active if cards have been put into the Soul during this turn. So pretty much what Dark Irregulars do, put cards into the Soul. Choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. Put this card into your hand. So pretty much, I think she's a little bit worse than actually Holy Mage Laviana. I personally think Holy Mage Laviana is better. I feel like, her ability is active as long as you put cards into the Soul, but I think the whole choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it, and then you put this card into your hand might be a little bit weird. If it was put a card on your field into the Soul, maybe that would have been better because, at least then you could kind of build up your Soul with this card. But because you have to retire it for this card to go to your hand, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of good. I mean, this Generation Break 1 ability in the Soul, when you put cards in, I don't know. I personally think just sacrificing a grade 1 or less rear guard to put this card to your hand might not be the best ability. I mean, it is from the Soul, so I guess that's good. Because when she's in your Soul, basically, she goes from your Soul to your hand. So, she doesn't necessarily... I mean, I don't know. I personally think it's okay. I guess if you get it into your Soul, you can always get it back. It's a way to get it out from the Soul. So I guess, I can see this card being played. I might want to try it out just to see how it works, but yeah. But the best part about it is that you can take the card from the soul and put it to your hand, but you have to sacrifice a grade 1 or less rear guard. If you don't have a grade 1 or less on your field, I don't know how good this card is, but yeah, it's pretty good. Next card is Dotting Harlequin Maya. This is a G unit, grade 4, 15,000 shield, Pale Moon. This is of course a G Guardian, and the flavor text has not been translated. You have to send a heal trigger to the drop zone to basically call out G Guardians, so that's pretty much how you get these cards out. And this is a Magia auto. When this unit is placed on GC, if you have a vanguard with the Magia ability, this unit gets shield plus 5,000 until the end of battle. Choose up to one card from your soul, called RC, and at the end of that turn, put the unit called with this effect into your soul. If you have a vanguard without the Magia ability, you may soul charge 3. So this card is interesting. I mean, first of all, when this card is placed on GEC, if you have a vanguard with the Magia ability, this card gets plus 5k. That's pretty good. Until the end of battle, of course. And then you can choose a card from your soul and call it to RC. And at the end of the turn, you put the card you called back to the soul. So you put it back to the soul after, of course, the end of the turn. If you have vanguard without the Magia ability, you soul charge 3. So I do think this card has playability, both in decks with the Magia ability and decks without the Magia ability. Because, I mean, soul charging 3 is not bad in some decks, so I definitely can see this card being played. But I do like this card. I like the artwork on it, and I do like the effect. I think this effect is pretty good. I think, yeah, I would definitely run her, and yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. The next card is Sky Dome Battle Maiden Hana Satsuki. She's a G unit, grade 4, 15,000 power, 50,000 shield, Genesis. Amazing artwork, by the way. Amazing artwork. Offer up the chant, rise the barrier to destroy evil by the meeting of the souls. I love this card flavor. It sounds really badass. And of course, auto. When this unit is placed in GC, choose one of your rear guards. If you have a card in your soul with the same name as that unit, this unit gets shield plus 10,000 until the end of battle. This card's interesting, because if you have a rear guard and you have a card in your soul with the same name as that rear guard, this card gets plus 10k until the end of battle. I feel like this card is really good. This is definitely a good Genesis Yi Guardian. I like this card. I would definitely run this card over the Yi Guardians we do have for this, because I think this is an amazing Yi Guardian. Just getting 10k is just amazing, and it's so easy to do, because usually you might have a rear guard in the field and you might have a card with the same name in your soul, so it's not hard to get that. So I personally like this card a lot. So let's go to the next one, which is Great Witch Doctor of Banquets Negru Lily. Great Witch Doctor of Banquets Negru Lily. It's a Yi unit, Yi Guardian, grade 4, 15,000 shield, Granblue. And the card flavor is little ones who don't look to have died are barrier entry. Little ones who don't look to have died are buried entry. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know per se, but I think that's how you say it. The effect of the card is Auto Counterblast 1. Choose one of your rear guards and retire it. When this unit is placed in GC, you may pay the cost, and if you do, choose up to one normal unit with Ghosty in its card name from your drop zone, call it to an open RC, and this unit gets shield plus 10,000 until the end of that battle. I think this card is real good as well. I mean, you counterblast one, and then you retire one of your rear guards. Of course, that's pretty simple. And then, when this card is placed in GC, you pay the cost, and then you can you can choose a normal unit with Ghost in its card name from your drop zone and call it to open RC, which means that you can retire one. If, for example, you can retire some cards you don't want to get a Ghost you do want. So it depends on which Ghosties you have in the deck and all that. It depends on your Ghosty count, like that's what it depends on how many you run and stuff like that. This card can be better and worse, but it gets 10k shield as well, so it gets a high shield, so it becomes 25k shield, so that's really good. But I do like the ghosty ability because I think that's relevant. If you run a lot of ghosty cards, I feel like this card becomes even better because the whole retire one, you get that card back in one way because you get to choose a normal unit with ghost in its card name and from your drops and call it to open RC. So you do sacrifice a rear guard, but you do get it back, and then you get 10k. So the only really big cost is a Contrablast 1, which isn't the worst, and it's not maybe the best, but it's not the worst. I definitely want to try this card out. I think this card has potential, but it depends on, of course, how many ghosties you run in your deck. And there are a lot of ghosties, so I'm just saying. Next card is Flower Princess of Autumn Scenery Verena. Flower Princess of Autumn Scenery Verna, I think that's how you say it. G unit grade 4, 15,000 shield, Sue Neo Nectar. I like Sue, of course, as a nation, so I will not overlook the atrocity of vaunting plucked of buds. I will not overlook the atrocity of the vauntion plucking of buds. I guess that's what you say. I don't know. Sometimes I'm really bad at this, but yeah, sometimes I'm really bad at reading the flavor text, but amazing artwork, of course, as always. The stats are pretty much your standard G Guardians, of course. And this is an auto. When this unit is placed on GC, choose one of your rear guards. This unit gets shield plus 5,000 for each of your other units with the same card name as that unit until the end of that battle. So I like this, because when this unit is placed on GC, choose one of your rear guards. This unit gets plus 5k for each of your other units with the same card name. So once again, if you can copy the card name of a certain card, this can be kind of big. I mean, it can become as high as 30,000k shield if you get 5 or 6 of them. So that can become kind of high. So I kind of like that. But there's of course only until the end of battle, and then you can actually guard with that. So I do like that because you can then guard with it for another attack and stuff like that. So I do think this has potential. I don't know if this is the best. I personally love this one the best. I think this is the second best. This is probably the third. I would probably put this as fourth best Yi Guardian today. I mean, it's good, but it all depends on how many cards you have on your side of the field that has the same card name. So yeah, it can vary in how good it is, but yeah, that's what I have to say about that. The next card is Ouroboros Dragon Aint Soft Ore. It's a G unit, grade 4, triple drive, 15,000 plus, 1 critical, Neo Nectar. This card has the flavor text, where there are lives, there I am. Where there I am, there are praises. So he liked to be praised, I guess. But it's also life berries, so it's pretty sweet. This card has Act VC 1 turn, Soul Blast 1. If you have a hard card with Ouroboros in its card name, until the end of turn, this unit gets out to VC. When this unit attacks, choose one of your rear guards, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as that unit, call it RC, and shuffle your deck. And Contra VC, Generation Break 2, all of your units with Ouroboros in its card name in your front row gets plus 5k. So I do like this card as well. I mean, first of all, the whole thing when you can basically choose one of your rear guards, and then you choose one of your rear guards, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as that unit, and then you call to RC, and then you shuffle your deck. And then the second ability where you can give 5,000k to all cards with Ouroboros in its card name, that's kind of cool, because then you can search out another Ouroboros and put it on your RC. Then it gets 5k, of course, but that's only if you have Generation Break 2. The first one is not Generation Break 2, so I don't like Soul Blasting, and I don't think this card is amazing, but I do think it's okay. I don't know if I would run this card or play with it, but I do think it's interesting enough to actually be played, because, you know, you can technically get good use of this card. It's an Ouroboros card, so what can I really say? I mean, I like the first part where you can basically pick a unit and search another unit with the same card name and just call it to RC. I like that. The second one, it's also good, but it's Generation Break 2, and I don't like the Soul Blast one because, well, when it comes to this deck, they don't Soul Blast a lot, so I feel kind of like that's not necessarily the best. The next card we're going to talk about is Rampage Aid. She is a trigger unit, amazing artwork by the way. I love the artwork in this card, really dark, and you know, I like a dark artwork, so 4,000 power, 1 critical, 10,000 shield, Granblue. And the flavor text is, put this unit into your soul when your vanguard attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater vanguard with nitros in its card name, you may pay the cost, and if you do, draw a card. Choose one of your vanguards and it gets power plus 5,000 until the end of battle. I do like this card. I do like Rampage Aid. First of all, you put this unit into your soul when your vanguard attacks. Okay? And if you have a grade 3 or greater vanguard with nitros, you pay that cost, of course. And then if you do, you draw a card. So you get draw power there. And then you get to choose another vanguard or whichever vanguard you want, and it gets plus 5,000 until the end of battle. So you can choose any vanguard and it gets plus 5k. You get to draw a card. I feel like this is a good critical trigger for Granblue. I like it, and I definitely want to play around with this card because, you know, I like Granblue and I do like nitros, and I feel like this is a really, really, really good card. So I do like this card a lot. I love the artwork and I do like the effect. So it's a really good card. Just like I did with the triple rares, I wanted to talk about another card from Genius Strategy. It's Ink Dyed Stealth Rogue Minetsuki. Ink Dyed Stealth Rogue Minetsuki. Amazing artwork on this card, by the way. I love the artwork on this card. Really amazing. It's a normal unit, grade 3, twin drive, 10,000 power, 1 critical, Murakumo. And once again, the reason why I wanted to do a video about this card is just because the artwork. I love the artwork and all that. But I'm gonna go over the effect as well. The flavor text of this card is, the flowers died in ink scatter, their life dispersing as they fall to the bottom. The flowers died in ink scatter, their life dispersing as they are falling to the bottom. Well, her flavor text is a little bit hard right now for me to read, but it's not why it's important. I love this card by the way, artwork amazing. And the effect of this card is Shadow Stitch Auto VCRC. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked a vanguard, if the attack did not hit, choose one of your other units and it gets power plus 5,000 until the end of turn. That's what makes sense in this card. I do think this card has a pretty good effect as well. Its artwork is amazing, and of course its effect is not that bad either. Because if this card's attack does not hit, you can choose another unit and give it plus 5k. So you give 5k to another unit even if your attack doesn't hit. So if your attack doesn't hit, you give 5k to something else. That's just good. So if your opponent blocks this, you can give another card on your field 5k. That's pretty simple. And I like cards like these that have simple effects that it's kind of awesome in their own way. So please tell me what you think about this card, and let's get on with the double rare reviews. And the last double rare we're going to look at today is Regalia of the Present Age Verthandi. She's a normal unit, grade 3, twin drive, 11,000 power, 1 critical, Genesis. Amazing art on this card, by the way. Really enjoy the artwork on this card. And the flavor text is, the second daughter reflects the current state of resisting a sad fate. I love the flavor text on this card. Amazing artwork, amazing name, and of course an amazing flavor text. And the card's effect is Act VC 1 turn, Soul Blast 3 cards to Regalia in its card name, choose up to 3 units in the front row, and until the end of turn they get Auto VCRC. When this unit attack hits a vanguard, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put a card among them into your hand, and put a card from the rest into your soul. I do like the first part of this ability. Just you have to Soul Blast 3 Regalias. That's not a big deal though, because I kind of think that that's what you should probably play this card in a Regalia deck anyway. So Soul Blasting, 3 Regalias is not a big deal. Then you choose 3 units in your front row and they get this ability. You look at the top two cards from the top of your deck and you put one of them into your hand. And then you put a card from the rest into your soul, which I don't think is a bad thing either. I kind of like this card. I do like the first part of this effect. And the second part of the effect is Auto VC. During the turn, when your G unit with Regalia and its original card name strides, choose one of your vanguards until the end of turn it gets. Auto VC. When a card is put into your soul, choose up to 3 units with Regalia and its card name in your front row, and they get power plus 1000 until the end of turn. Okay, here's the thing. I like the first effect, because basically you just Soul Blast 3 Regalias, then you choose 3 units in your front row, and until the end of turn, if their attack hits a vanguard, you look at 2 cards, add one of them to your hand, and then you put a card from the rest into your soul, which is really easy, and that's like, it really makes your opponent think before they block the attacks of your monsters and all that, so I think that's a good effect. The second one is also pretty good, because as soon as a Yi unit with Regalia and its original card name strikes, you choose one of your vanguards, and until the end of turn it gets Auto VC. When a card is put into your soul, choose up to 3 units with Regalia in its card name in your front row, and they get plus 1000 until the end of turn. So depending on how many cards you put into your soul, this can actually stack up and become really powerful. So of course, it all depends on how many cards you can stack up and all that, but I personally think that's not a big deal. I think that Regalias might actually become competitive. They might actually have a chance of being really good. I mean, I would definitely run this card. And of course, the Grade 4 Stride unit that comes with it. Those two together can really add up some really powerful columns, and I feel like they work together pretty well. So basically, we have gone over all we have gone over all double rares in this video. And to me, I mean, when it comes to these two, I personally think this is a little bit better, but I'm probably gonna try to run this anyway, because I do think this is good, because, you know, the effect of this card is in your soul, so it still is good. But you have to retire one of your rare guards. So this personally to me is might be the better one. But I think this one is also pretty damn good. So I think these two pretty damn good. When it comes to the Yi Guardians though, I mean personally my favorite is Sky Dome Battle Maiden Hana Satsuki. She is just really good in my opinion. The second one is definitely Dr. Harlequin Maya, because I think she's really good as well. And of course, Great Witch Doctor of Banquets Negro Lily is not bad either. I think the worst one is probably this one, Flower Princess of Autumn Scenery Verna. I think that she's probably the worst, but she's not necessarily shitty. She is a little bit worse though. Among the other cards, like this card for example, I kind of think he's okay. I don't think he's broken or super good or anything. But I understand why he's a double rare, you know. He's a pretty good double rare. On the other hand, these two I really like. I like Rampage Aid. I think she's amazing. This card is literally amazing. I think definitely as a critical trigger, really good. Amazing. I'm just saying. Being able to draw a card and give 5k to another Vanguard, it's pretty good. I think this card is really solid. And of course this card, I really like this as well. I mean, she's just adorable, she's just good, and I think that she will probably have a lot of playability in the future. But please tell me what you think about all this, and as always, you can comment down below, and as I always say, comment, like, and subscribe.